Good afternoon or evening, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Melissa Faulkner. I am the VP of Marketing. We are the Digital Health Hub Foundation, a digital health accelerator at the Worldwide Center of Healthcare Innovation. Now in its sixth year, our award program is dedicated to identifying the most transformative, disruptive, and innovative companies shaping the future of healthcare. This year, out of over 1,500 applicants, 300 were named quarterfinalists, and now we've narrowed it down to our 150 exceptional finalists. Today, we are proud to present our 4 best in class and our 9 rising star finalists in our consumer wellness category. These are leaders who are truly revolutionizing the industry. As a reminder, this session will be very fast-paced as we have 13 companies to present, but this is only a small taste of what these companies have already shared as part of their application. If the audience has any questions, please feel free to drop them into the Q&A and we will try to get to them. I would now like to introduce one of our executive producers, as well as our NextMed Health and Digital Health founder and chairman, Dr. Daniel Kraft.
Thanks, Melissa. Hey, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm lucky to be the co-executive producer, again, for the Digital Health Awards. I also chair something called NextMed Health, a program that brings together folks to look at the future of healthcare, and Digital.Health, a platform that lets you see and share some of your amazing solutions. It's been amazing to see the evolution of the awards and the evolution of the digital health space, and particularly as we move into sort of from sick care to healthcare to self-care and the consumer element of digital health that you guys are all focused in, how much impact that's having and how much that's shifting and really expanding the ability to do prevention, diagnostics, therapy, and beyond. So we're excited to see the amazing set of folks join us today, and I'll hand it over to Stephen, who will be co-hosting. We'll be doing some intros and Q&As in between. Over to Stephen. Oh, and one other thing, I'll put it in the chat, links to all the companies that you can dig into so you have context. Over to you, Stephen.
Thanks so much, Daniel. It's great to be part of this this program, again, watching it evolve over the last several years, and there's the hundreds and hundreds of spectacular companies that have applied. So in addition to being the consumer wellness category champion, I run Matter, which is a healthcare technology incubator and innovation hub. Our mission is to accelerate the pace of change of healthcare. We run an incubator for healthcare startups. We opened in 2015 and have supported more than 1,000 companies that have raised more than $5 billion at this point to fuel their growth. We also work with dozens of large life sciences companies, health plans and providers, helping them innovate more effectively. We have a pretty broad view and sort of window into healthcare innovation, and really looking forward to hearing from these companies today and then at the finals in Las Vegas in a few weeks.
Thank you, Stephen. We also have Zane on from Avia, who is our content partner, who's going to set the stage of what is happening in this space. Zane, on to you.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm Zane Ismail with Avia Health Innovation. I'm a senior director on our consumerism team, and really happy here today to kick off the consumer wellness portion of this. Again, at Avia, we work hand in hand with healthcare enterprises across the United States and even outside of the United States on digital strategies and solution evaluation. And I'll say more about that in a second. But based on our research, we see this space as being valued at over $1.5 trillion across the globe, with significant growth in this space. 3 things to watch in our view. First is thinking about consumer behaviors and how they're shifting truly from reactive to proactive. So not a whole lot different than what Dr. Kraft had shared in his briefing here a few minutes ago. But we really see personalization being the key. And so there's growing demand for tailored wellness experiences, particularly those now that are starting to lean very much into the fitness, nutrition, skincare space as well. We continue to see the proliferation of wearable technology, wellness apps integrated now with telehealth services and more traditional health services. And so something to watch there. We believe that millennials and Gen Z are really driving a lot of this. I think I fit into the millennial category, and I'm a big user of wearables and increasingly bringing this data to my clinicians to help them, help select the right care plans for me. We also believe that the aging population is going to be a significant demographic to watch here, as they want to maintain mobility, cognitive function, quality of life, and really thrive in their older years, no longer sitting on the rocking chair. My grandmother is an active biker and continues to, use apps like Strava, Fitbit, you name it, to monitor her wellness, but also her health. Last thing I'll say on this slide is a key segment to look at in our view is corporate wellness. And so increasingly we're hearing from employers who want us to help them think about like, what is the technology stack that they can provide or encourage their employees to use to keep them healthy, keep the cost of care down, but also increase presenteeism and attract talent to their organization. And so those three things to watch. If we go to the next slide, real quick, a number of opportunities in the space, but wanted to cover a couple. So first is personal wellness solutions. And so thinking about opportunities in AI-powered wellness platforms that can help create more personalized and tailored plans based on, an individual's identity. So whether it's their genetics, their biometrics, their lifestyle, we see the wearables, smart wearables fitting to the space. As I said earlier, the tele-wellness and virtual care. And so I take calls every day with health systems and other players in the industry that are looking to integrate virtual care into their physical clinic presence, but also thinking about how, tools like the Oura Ring or Fitbit or their Apple Watch can integrate into that as well. And then it goes without saying that mental health and well-being is increasingly a prominent space where people are playing for some of the reasons that we've listed before that. But to close this out here and to get to the meat of why we're here today, very quickly, if we go to the next slide, wanted to share that, at Avia, we've launched our marketplace to help solution companies like you all find the right buyer. And so we work with about 1,100 different hospitals and a number of different members. You see their logo on top. We've created the Avia marketplace solution for this. And so I believe what I told, if we go to the next slide, for you finalists, we're going to be offering a free membership onto our platform. And so you'll see an email come from us. Again, Zain Ismail with Avia Health, happy to be here and kick this off. And congratulations to all of you that have made it this far so far. Thank you so much.
Thanks for that great setup. I think what's going to be interesting here is to see how the finalists here represent many of the elements we just heard about from Zain. And I think our first up is an area that's pretty hot, the idea of digital twins and the aptly named Twin Health. So let's hear from Twin Health about what they're up to and what they're solving for and what they see coming next.
Sure, absolutely. First of all, thanks for the context and the invitation to be here. I will limit this to about a minute. I realize we have a lot to get through. So my name is John Davis, very proud to represent our work at Twin Health. At Twin Health, we are addressing the chronic metabolic disease ecosystem, including type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, obesity, liver disease, kidney disease, cardiovascular disease more generally. And so that's the world that we're sort of targeting. The problem we're solving, though, and really the insight that drives everything we do is the fact that all of these diseases are in fact related. And so we're driving the market to move away from viewing them each as individual fragmented disease and condition silos, but to really viewing them as we do at Twin Health as a holistic chronic metabolic disease set. And when you look at them this way, all of those metabolic diseases actually stem from a single root cause, which is metabolic dysfunction. So our metabolisms don't function the way that they used to. That results in insulin resistance, visceral fat, inflammation, and that leads to the progression and development of these different metabolic diseases that manifest themselves through diabetes and obesity, et cetera. So what we're doing at Twin Health is we are getting right to the root cause of that, utilizing data from wearable sensors, behavioral, social input data to create a digital replica or a digital twin in the cloud of each individual's specific metabolism unique to them. And we deploy AI-based predictive models to learn cause and effect. So for each person, the ability to understand what's causing metabolic repair and what's causing metabolic damage, not just from what they eat, but the amount of sleep they got the night before, their activity, what types of activity, their medications, how they're impacting them, and be able to tell them for the first time, using data from themselves, their own data, what matters for them and what they need to do throughout a given day to repair their metabolism, actions they can take, choices they can make to repair their metabolism. And in doing so, we normalize, prevent, and improve chronic metabolic disease holistically. We have a randomized control trial with the Cleveland Clinic. Excited for those results to be published early next year. We've done other academic studies in which 70+% of our population achieves normalization of type 2 diabetes. I should mention we're doing all of this while getting our members off of costly medications like GLP-1s. And so we certainly are very proud of the outcomes we've achieved, not just in the academic research setting, but working with self-insured employers, health plans for their fully insured population to not only make their members healthier, but a lot happier and generate significant cost savings through the reduction in medical and pharmacy utilization for these at-risk entities. So we've really brought together a solution that tells members what they need to know to get healthier and stay that way, while delivering effectively a triple aim value proposition to those accountable for the cost of their care.
John, thanks so much. I have plenty of questions for you, but just in the interest of time, I want to make sure we get through everyone. So I'll turn to Aptar, and let's see if we can hold these initial thoughts to a minute or so, and then we can make it a little bit more of a dialogue and kind of get through everybody.
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Great. So thanks again. We're really excited to be part of this. So my name is Adam Shane. I'm the Vice President and Global Head of Patient Solutions here at Aptar Digital Health. For those of you who don't know who Aptar Digital Health is, we're the digital health division of a part of the Aptar Group. Aptar Group is a $3.5 billion publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange. And what we do on the Aptar Digital Health side has been building up different types of solutions that are helping pharma companies with their pre-Rx, RX, and post-Rx transition into supporting different types of drug products. And part of that is also linked to some of the disease management applications. And obviously the one I'm here to talk to you about today is Migraine Buddy. So Migraine Buddy is the #1 app in neurology with over 3.7 million registered users. And what we really aim to do is to provide patients with the ability to track and monitor their migraines and really bring them control over their treatment. And we've been doing that since 2014. And really we do this by building a best-in-class product that our users trust and engage with every single day.
Thanks so much. I love it. And let's hear from Ada Health.
Hello, delighted to be here. Claire Noverall, co-founder and chief medical officer at Ada Health. Ada is a symptom assessment, triage and care navigation platform, and it helps people navigate to the right care first time, and also reduces the time to correct diagnosis and treatment for underdiagnosed and undertreated conditions. And the problem we're addressing really is that we all get sick, we all get symptoms, and when we do, we have to self-triage, and we have to decide what to do about those symptoms, whether we need to seek care, and if so, what type of care, and how urgent is that care. And that's not always easy for people to get right. So obviously a lot of people end up at the ER when they don't need to be there, or scheduling with the wrong clinician, or potentially sitting on worrying symptoms until things get much worse. And for some conditions, especially rare conditions, it can actually be years on average for people to get to a correct diagnosis. So there's really a need to help people self-assess accurately and navigate to the right care first time, avoid unnecessary care and costs, of course, but also unnecessary delays in getting to the right care and the right diagnosis and the right treatment. And that's where Ada comes in. Ada's platform helps people self-assess, self-triage, and navigate to that right care first time, whether it's primary care, urgent care, emergency care, or specialist care, or of course, self-care at home. And to get to a correct diagnosis and treatment sooner.
Claire, thanks so much. Next company up is Solera Health.
Hey, Stephen, good to see you again. Ed Leibowitz, Chief Strategy Officer at Solera Health, and humbled to be here with such great other panelists as well. At Solera, we're tackling two critical challenges: the lack of transparency and integration in digital health programs, and the growing strain on primary care. Our technology and digital delivery network enable us to address these issues head-on. Healthcare costs have surged by 50% in the past 6 years, yet we spend 1/3 less on primary care compared to other developed nations. Meanwhile, 84% of purchasers demand better transparency into care quality, and 80% seek to reduce inappropriate healthcare utilization. The current digital health landscape is fragmented, with solutions often existing in silos, further complicating the healthcare ecosystem. Celera's mission is to bridge that gap. We serve as an integrator in the digital health space, helping healthcare consumers navigate to the most effective and cost-efficient solutions. But we don't stop there. Our platform ingests data from these digital solutions, driving interoperability and enabling billing via traditional healthcare claims, all on a pay-for-performance basis. By connecting point solutions, we have been able to drive 20% increases in verified outcomes for consumers in weight management and mental health solution concurrently, as an example. In short, Celera seamlessly integrates digital health into the broader healthcare ecosystem, making it more accessible, efficient, impactful, and cost-effective for all.
Ed, thanks so much. It's great to see you again, and we'll circle back around. But for now, I'm going to turn it over to Ariel, who is the upgraded version of Daniel Kraft, who's going to walk us through the Rising Stars.
Hey everyone, Daniel Kraft 2.0 here. Nice to meet all of you. Now we're going to go on to the Rising Stars. So I would love to turn it to Tune Care to give your little pitch. Thank you.
Sure, thank you, and excited to be here amongst all these amazing companies. Tune Care is the first employer-sponsored hearing health benefit that covers the entire continuum of hearing care, from prevention to intervention. An award-winning telehealth platform, the largest online group of audiologists nationwide, serving tens of thousands of members on a monthly basis. The problem that we're solving is that hearing is a glaring gap in healthcare. There are no employee hearing health benefits, just like dental and vision, that address prevention of hearing loss, mild to moderate hearing loss, tinnitus, auditory processing disorder, pediatric audiology, and balance issues. Think of yourself. How many hours a day do you use headphones? How many hours a day on these types of Zoom calls? When was the last time you had your hearing checked, if ever? That's what Tune does. So we offer a telehealth platform that allows employers to add comprehensive hearing health, not just traditional hearing aids, as part of their benefits platform, just like dental and vision.
Thank you so much. Just so you know, I'm going off of the order I'm seeing on my screen for a list that I have. So next we will have Lynn Health.
Hi, everyone. Super excited to be here. My name is Yehuda Kogan, and I'm CEO and founder of Lynn Health. We have a tech-enabled service to treat chronic pain, a space that is going through a revolution led by the medical community. After years of hearing that their pain is in their brain with no official diagnosis, patients can now be diagnosed with chronic primary pain, which essentially means that the brain is indeed driving the pain sensation. In the past couple of years, new research has come out showing that behavioral health techniques can drive better outcomes than treatment as usual. Based on the research, we have created Lynn to deliver a highly engaging digital program that empowers patients and connects them to a multidisciplinary care team. So far, we have treated thousands of people, with 50% of them seeing significant reduction in their pain intensity. We partner with providers and the largest and most innovative health systems so they can embed Lynn into their clinical operations, and we partner with them to cover our program. For us, it's not about disrupting the system, it's about becoming part of it so we can bridge the gap for providers and payers, and together we can help people reclaim their lives from pain.
Thank you so much, Yehuda. Next up, we have Matt Swanson. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Matt Swanson. Our company, Reciprocity Health, has a platform called TheraPay, which is trying to take head on the issue that so many clinical solutions really suffer from low adoption and adherence to their programs. So we've built a program that accelerates adoption and adherence to any sort of care intervention or clinical program, chronic condition management program, using CMS field-tested and proven effectiveness of financial incentives. So we build an overlay of communications and financial incentives that will draw people towards their care. Our app is a roadmap for these rewards and draws people towards their care, especially those most vulnerable populations that are really tough to reach in the Medicaid and Medicare populations.
Thanks so much. Next up, we have STEM Science, and after that, we will do Playback Health. So right afterwards, Playback Health, you can take it.
Hey there, my name's Tim Rosa. I'm the CEO of Somni, formerly STEM Science. The company was founded by 4 renowned neuroscientists at UC Berkeley, one of them, Dr. Matt Walker. What we do is we invented a wearable headband that uses personalized neurostimulation to help you fall asleep. So we improve sleep onset, maintenance, depth, as well as overall sleep quality. And how we do that is it's a headband you wear for 15 minutes before you go to sleep. We use EEG and proprietary AI and ML models to perform personalized neurostimulation that helps the user fall asleep.
Thanks so much.
Hi, my name is David Langer. I'm the co-founder and chief medical officer at Playback. I'm also a chair of neurosurgery in Lenox Hill Hospital in Manhattan. Just blown away by these great companies and amazing how this world's changing. I just want to congratulate all of you as well as the Hub for setting this up. Our company started with a basic, simple problem that needed a sophisticated solution, that people forget what they hear. I was struggling with my own patients, not remembering what I told them at discharge, forgetting what their instructions said, going over an MRI and them not being able to tell their families what the doctor said. And I saw my children doing their homework and using all these consumer available applications like FaceTime and chat. And we just brought that idea to the healthcare space. And we started using audio, video, photographs, recording interactions. And we developed a strategy for creating new forms of provider-provider and provider-patient communication. But the special sauce was AI, because when chat came out, we were not able to take these audios and videos and sort of memorialize them. But now we have an AI platform that creates notes for patients through ambient technology. I mean, for providers with ambient technology. So doctors or healthcare providers create any phenotypic personalized healthcare record and create notes and medical record that memorialize those moments. So you're providing essentially super sophisticated, totally personalized patient communication platform with the beauty of AI and the ability to save time and effort to create essentially EMR in the new generation. That's what Playback does.
Great. Thank you so much. Next, we have Concha Labs, and then I'm going to just drop the rest in the chat just for the sake of time. So go take it away.
Hi, I'm Amy Lee, founder and CEO of Concha Labs. If you know anyone with hearing loss if they have tried wearing hearing aids, you may know that the process can be very frustrating. I've been wearing hearing aids since kindergarten, but they were always too loud, too quiet. They just didn't really sound right. And so at Concha Labs, we're building a truly personalized hearing experience for the over 1.5 billion people with hearing loss. Our hearing software platform is backed by over 6 years of R&D, 6 patents granted. We're actually the first and only solution to clinically match or exceed the performance of traditional audiologist fit hearing aids. We've received FDA clearance. We're recommended by Mayo Clinic. We are in active discussions with other major channels in the space. Our goal is to help the people with hearing loss to hear really clearly through our software platform.
Thanks so much, Amy. Next up, Calagon.
Hi, I'm Carla Borsway from Calagon. Calagon makes smart seating with a focus on people who use wheelchairs. So we started with the desire to help people who had pressure injuries to avoid those. So about 60,000 people a year will die from a pressure injury, and the cost to treat them can range from anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000 or more. And the only way to avoid getting a pressure injury is to perform a pressure relief. That is completely removing your butt from your seat if you're a wheelchair user. So we created products that use a combination of foam, air, and machine learning that actually perform pressure redistributions that restore blood flow, which decreases fatigue and increases comfort alongside all of the health benefits of that restored blood flow. We have 3 main products. Our first one launched in 2022. We launched an accessory that does this for existing AirCell cushions in 2023. And this year we launched a Medicare eligible product called Orbiter Med, which also creates a custom seating surface for people. We published, we had 2 peer-reviewed journal articles published this year that are all about our tech and our efficacy. And our main market obviously is in the medical space and largely wheelchair users. And we've also created seating for the US Air Force with paid proof of concepts for auto and aviation.
Thanks so much, Carla.
Are you going to Solid?
Solid, there we go. It's
okay.
Solid choice.
At Solid, we've been blessed to discover brain functionality that is amazingly simple and elegant that no one ever suspected. We're basically able to give you eyeglasses that substitute a fly's eye lens for the natural optics in your eye, and the brain is able to interpret multiple separate in-focus images to many disparate areas of the retina and create stereopsis in the same way it does from your 2 eyes naturally. And there's many, many applications for this. The low-hanging fruit is that we get over coverage of the image from multiple points of view, and we're able to give sight to hundreds of millions of blind people. If you have macular degeneration, glaucoma, optic neuritis, many other issues, severe astigmatism, things blocking some portion of your visual field or even most of the visual field, we can give people tremendously improved sight. We have proven it with many, many tests. It works well over 95% of the time. The only times it doesn't work is when there are very weird, complicating factors.
Last but not least, we have Ciba Health, and then I'll turn it back over to Steve for the next round of questions.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Innocent Clement. I am a clinician by training. I'm a 2-time founder. For me, Ciba started as a result of my own personal experience managing patients with complex chronic condition, really. Seeing firsthand their frustration as well as how they access care and how care is delivered to them. That's how Ciba started in 2020. So we're building really one of the largest integrated care model that is really leveraging, that is looking at preventing chronic condition, but as well as also reversing complex chronic condition. And how do we do this? We leverage data from a patient, either from a patient comprehensive questionnaire. We leverage data from connected devices. We have over 300 biomarkers that we analyze to be able to allow us to deliver a personalized whole person sort of care model. And really, again, looking at how we can address one of the challenges that has to do with fragmentation in the space today, hence why we build this integrated digital healthcare platform. From what we heard from speaking to employers, executives, really the challenges with fragmentation, the point solution fatigue, I mean, again, how their members access care model. So Ciba is really addressing a lot of those challenges, really to deliver a more comprehensive solution that provides care coordination that's able to really deliver a personalized care model that's really a whole person sort of a model today.
Well, thanks so much for the background, everybody. It's such interesting and such varied different companies attacking different parts of the healthcare needs. So I was going to ask each company kind of a go-to-market related question and maybe just go back from the top and kind of go through them, and starting with Twin. One of the things you said was you're pushing the market to see metabolic diseases together as opposed to separately. And anytime you're trying to change people's behaviors and change the existing paradigm, that can be extremely difficult. So wondering how it is that you're going to go to market or going to market to solve that. And again, if we can keep everybody.
I'll do it in 15 seconds. So we sell to at-risk entities, including self-insured employers and at-risk health plans. GLP-1s have made that argument a lot easier. So we used to have a hard time getting people to understand that, given how much is being spent and focused and driven by GLP-1s and pharma marketing. Frankly, they've kind of helped move the market that direction. So it's a lot easier now.
Great. All right. Adam, you're part of Aptar. So Aptar Digital Health is part of a ginormous company. And I just actually wanted to clarify, what are you operating fully within the Aptar group? And do you benefit from the ability to go to market with all of the muscle there? Are you acting as a, can you clarify a little bit what the
so
is and how that helps
sure.
you?
Sure. Right, and obviously, so Aptar Digital Health it's a standalone entity within Aptar Digital Health, so it's fully supported underneath the environment. So Aptar Pharma is a $1.5 billion segment, and Aptar Digital Health is one of those divisions. So we absolutely, when any of our point solutions, so when the Migraine Buddy solution that we're talking about here benefits from all the collaborations that we have with hundreds of pharma companies, specifically in the migraine space. The way that we've commercialized this product has been specifically with patients through pharma. So we really are able to leverage all the different areas around different types of social media elements and around the community around of the product that we've built. So the 3.5 million registered users is really the backbone around how we can commercialize and work with pharma, hospital systems, and everybody. So thank you.
For Ada Health, can you just clarify, are you selling to providers? And if so, how are you penetrating that today, where it's just seemingly gotten very challenging to sell into providers?
Yeah, so we have a consumer platform, mobile app and web products, and we have a sort of free assessment and navigation offering for consumers, but we also sell that solution into large health systems, payers, providers. And so we're navigating the patient from that sort of first, I guess it's the digital front door, we navigate them into the system and to the right care option within the system. And we also work with life sciences, and that's about accelerating that path to diagnosis and treatment. I mean, it is obviously a long sales cycle. It takes time. These are big partnerships and big sales, but basically we have something rather unique, which is the kind of breadth of condition coverage, the depth of the assessment, the accuracy, and that ability to really navigate in a very nuanced and sophisticated way to the right care options, including specialist care. So that's really what differentiates us, and that's something that many providers and systems have told us they tried to build something themselves, and it's just sort of something that's not possible to do without that sort of sophisticated tech that we've built. So we have a really unique ability to navigate in that very sophisticated way.
Got it. Thanks, Claire. Ed, for Solera, how are you differentiating in what obviously you only had a minute to discuss it, but what seems like a really crowded market?
Yeah, it's a great question, Stephen. So the way we look at it, and as opposed to other aggregators, right? Most aggregators that would be offering a network of solutions are not organizing them into a high performance, high quality network. So what we do and our data capabilities enable us to do is ingest all that data, so it's all on a pay for performance rather than a per engaged per month or a per enrolled per month billing model. And further, what we can do by offering a network instead of forcing an employer or health plan to choose just one solution, rather than having Twin and Innocent compete for the same business, that health plan or employer can bring both of them in, and the consumer can navigate to the one that's going to work best for them, because there's underlying preconditions that's going to allow a consumer to be successful in each of those. So it's really optimizing how navigation works to those and transforming the billing model to really make it work like healthcare should, rather than having point solutions compete with each other.
Can you please, in 60 seconds, give us your go-to-market strategy? Go.
Sure. So we work through providers. Unum is an investor in the company. We work with other large healthcare entities and insurance companies. It's a long, hard, slow slog doing it with these huge companies, as I'm sure everybody here knows and appreciates. But Tuned is really able to create this kind of dental vision hearing solution, which again, kind of, we all know about the point solution fatigues thing. So we're kind of connected to dental vision and hearing, and basically allowing these types of entities to provide a comprehensive dental vision hearing program to their employees. So it's a B2B go-to-market strategy.
Great. Thank you so much. Next up, Lynn Health.
Hi. So we're applying a B2B2C model. We started by building a highly engaging patient experience that is covered by insurance. And now we are partnering with providers so they can embed our solution into their clinical operations, so they can offer Lean to their patients. They might be interested in running billing themselves, so they can refer to our medical group.
Great, thanks. Reciprocity Health.
So our primary go-to-market strategy initially was focused around Medicaid MCOs and trying to tackle the legacy problem there of the very hard to reach population. In that space, we put in our efforts to start with pilot programs that could prove our efficacy. We're able to show some early wins and tripling primary care visits and really improving adherence to chronic condition care programs. And so that really allowed us to bring that data into a broader set, into the Medicare space, into at-risk health systems as well. So we're really expanding both internally with our payer programs, adding more condition-specific programming there, but then also going into these other verticals, health systems specifically.
Fantastic. Thank you, Matt. STEM Science, can you give me your name again? Is it Somni, if I'm pronouncing it correctly,
Yeah,
Tim?
Somni.
Somni. Okay, great. Just
Yeah.
we'll remember that one going forward. Thank
No
you.
worries. So it's pretty straightforward. Like we did at Fitbit, we're building out a consumer business and brand. So D2C, retail, and then we will enter into the enterprise health side. So selling, as Zane mentioned, selling into corporate enterprises, our sleep wearable and products.
That was quick. Playback Health, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem for healthcare startups is finding a customer. And Northwell Health, which is one of the largest not-for-profit health systems in the country, is our partner. So we built it inside and have an inside-out strategy and make Northwell successful. So we've been in all these different types of healthcare environments: tertiary, ER, outpatient, ASC. But then we can develop individual strategies and go B2B at an enterprise level, direct to clinician, because we can learn what each clinician wants, and then ultimately use product-led growth. So by having the customer, it's our life preserver, so we can take some risk, learn from our mistakes, iterate, and then blow out of there and go to these different business strategies based on who the customer is. So we can sell to smaller groups, larger enterprise vendors, and ultimately it's about making the provider experience and the patient experience exceptional. And people get that now, especially with the advent of AI.
Thank you so much, David. We'll go on to ContraLabs.
Hi, I'm actually wearing our product. Looks like this. If it's actually available if you're curious about it on our website. But our go-to-market focus areas are actually twofold: health systems and clinics, as well as retail with health focus. So health systems and clinics, the leading institutions like Mayo Clinic, University of Minnesota, Here for Life Audiology, Here's Hearing Hearables, as well as some other audiology clinics are recommending our product to their patients. This channel gaining steady momentum. And the second is retail with health focus. So we have active discussions here going on because there are players in the space who are retail with a health focus who are very active in the hearing space. Together, those two are multi-billion-dollar market opportunities. And so those are our two go-to-market focus areas.
Great. Thank you so much, Amy. We have Dr. Daniel Kraft back, so now he will take over for me. Thanks,
Don't take over. You're staying there. Thanks, Ariel. Just quick question on the hearing space. Now, this idea of hearables, what are you seeing that you could do beyond, amplifying hearing with cognitive assist and the GPT in your ear and vital signs? Can you explain a little bit what you see next?
Yeah, so actually an assumption is that you can put something that is general that applies to a lot of people in hearing, and hopefully that will help solve hearing. But you may know from people who have hearing loss in your life that it's often the sound quality is really frustrating. And so that's actually the problem that we're tackling. So we have a very personalized approach, because the traditional hearing test was codified in 1922. That was over 100 years ago. The formulas that we used haven't changed. So we're the only ones personalizing in a very different way to personalize your sound profile in a way that is actually really relevant to each person. And so that's why we've been seeing really great results.
Great, thank you. I think Caligon is up next.
Yeah, that's right. Hi. So we largely sell B2B2C. So we started our sales in the VA, and we're in over 55 VA hospitals. And then when we got Medicare coding for our products earlier this year, we began working with dealers who manage complex rehab technologies. So we work with most of the largest US dealers, and then we reach them largely through our network of sales folks and independent reps. And those are really the backbone of our sales process. We do have an international distribution contract with one of the largest assistive technology providers in the world. But really, it's that for us, it's in the US, it's through those sales functions, and then we support that with marketing initiatives.
Thanks so much, Carla. We have Solid next.
Hi, we have scores and scores of ophthalmologists and retinologists and optometrists who have encountered our product now, our technology, and we're going to market in a couple of months, beginning at the Consumer Electronics Show. These physicians are recommending the product to their patients who will buy it directly from us. We're using a contract manufacturing model. Qualcomm is our manufacturer. Our smart glasses will be really sleek and lightweight, and you can wear them for hours and hours per day. And as we prove out the value of the market, which is hundreds of millions of people, we'll license the technology to people who are in the eyeglass and consumer electronics business.
Great, thanks so
Neil,
much.
one follow-up question, sorry, for you is, you said that you're going to be treating people who are blind. Presumably it's legally blind. It's people who have some visual function left, or are you really able to work? Does your solution actually work with people who have zero visual function?
No, if you have absolutely nothing, we can't help you. But that's a really small percentage of the people that we commonly refer to as blind. The vision impaired are like 1 billion people around the world, mostly all with some visual functionality, and we can make use of that functionality to give them full field sight.
Thanks so much. Last, we were going to have Siba Health, and then we're going to jump into the next question, which is going to be, what has been the most challenging aspect to get to where you are today, and how did you overcome it? So just food for thought. Everybody think about that, and then we're going to go back to the best in class. Thank you.
Yeah, again, thank you again for the opportunity. Siba Health, really, because of our strategy, really, it's a B2B model where we partner with self-funded employer, TPAs, large health system. Really, again, we've seen really huge adoption this year. I mean, post our Series A, we onboarded about 17 clients today, which is a mix of self-funded employer, TPAs, and as well as our health plan today, because of our high-touch, high-tech model where we have doctors, dietitian, health coaches really driving the care model. So Siba really can fit in as, a standalone, can be a wraparound, can also be complementary to a solution that's already existing. So really, because we're addressing a lot of those point solution fatigue that's in the space today, building this comprehensive model, we've seen a huge adoption, really. Again, we partner with ecosystem partners like Solera as well, that is one of our clients, and as well as our consultants and brokers as part of our strategy.
Thanks so much, Stephen. I'll let you take it here.
That brings us back to the top. We'll go around again, starting with Twin. And the question is, and John, I realize you have you get a little bit of the short end of the stick because you don't have as much time to think about the questions as other folks. But
I'm ready.
But you already have the answer, John, so we believe in you. You can do it.
I'm going to speak from the heart because I don't have time to think. So yeah, go ahead.
Perfect. So Ariel gave a preview, but what's been the most challenging aspect of getting to where you are today, and how did you overcome that?
So many. Look, I think for us, given where we are, what has been challenging is we had two pretty seismic watershed shifts in our market space within like a 30-month period. We went from having to convince people that applying AI in this way in healthcare was safe and secure and private to OpenAI coming out, and now everyone's being asked how quickly can we deploy AI in healthcare? And so we've been scrambling to catch up with that wave. And then we also have been, we've been effectively getting people off GLP-1s for 8 years, and now suddenly you have the release and approval for GLP-1s and weight loss, and it's an entirely new and even bigger wave, it seems. And so for us, it's how do we balance just the reshaping of the market in a way that feels generational, and making sure we're doing it both solving for near term, have to keep the lights on and keep going day by day, versus how do we make sure we're relevant a decade from now, giving these shifts. So if anybody has any ideas, please follow up with me.
Just one idea for everybody here. I mean, the world is moving exponentially. I'm here at Genentech headquarters, the home of biotech, and the whole thing I had to jump out to first about AI and drug development. But as you're planning your business models, think about what's going to be here with the $10 genome and ChatGPT 7 and next generation wearables that do blood pressure and blood sugar from your watch. So a lot of folks get behind the curve on their business models because they're not future specking a little bit. So just a brief editorial. Over to you next.
Hey, thanks, Daniel. So I'll answer from a corporate perspective, right? So, I mean, I think from the Aptar side of things, what's been really interesting building a digital health division inside a bigger corporation is really how we've acquired different types of startups and smaller companies and really seen the impact around how we've been engaging with different types of pharma companies and what the power of a big company has as far as future thinking, as you kind of allude to, Daniel, is the whole idea around the way that Aptar talks about any of our solutions here is really to think about how are these tools going to be there in 10 years and 15 years, and that's really where it's been interesting to see the power of a big corporation behind digital health.
Thanks, Claire.
Yeah, so what I guess has been most challenging for us, or was very challenging at first, is that we launched our assessment direct to the consumer back in 2016, and we'd built this incredible assessment covering thousands of conditions. We're getting amazing feedback from users about Ada helping them identify something that they hadn't had a diagnosis for years, and getting to a diagnosis after all that time, or saving their life by flagging something like a pulmonary embolus or appendicitis, for example. But everything we tried a number of ways to monetize direct to consumer, and that wasn't working at first. And in the meantime, we had so much inbound interest from big enterprises, from payers, from providers, from life sciences, wanting to integrate our assessment and our kind of navigation capabilities, either to integrate them into their system or basically to sort of leverage them. And so we had to make that flip basically and find a way to monetize that way, and then build out the enterprise integrations, which is something obviously quite different to a mobile app. And we have done that successfully, but that has taken a number of years to really sort of build up. So the consumers were using this product, telling us how great it was, but then we basically we basically had all the demand from the enterprise side and had to build a business model around that.
Yeah, it's, to me, and having built Celera over the past 4 years and really pivoted us to what we are today, it's really been the strong inertia within health plans and other enterprises at the resistance to change and maintaining the status quo, and really wanting to own the system how it's been rather than what it should be. And convincing those stakeholders over what can be a 2, 3, 4-year sales process with all the proof points that they need and the number of people that can say no is challenging, right? Especially as you're trying to innovate, keep up with the market, and leverage technology to solve some of their challenges. And then further, right, there's solutions out there, or organizations that want to control every aspect of the experience, and that desire to collaborate, partner, and create something better together doesn't always exist in healthcare, unfortunately. And I think overcoming those two challenges has really been, the biggest barrier to growth, and figuring out how to grow an enterprise structure.
So much, Ed. Now I think we're going on to Rising Stars, right, Stephen?
Yes, let's do it.
Great. Okay. Tune Care, back at you.
Ed stole my thunder. I think it's a matter of tempo in a way, because you're trying to work with these huge companies who, and I'm going to shock everybody here, insurance companies are very risk averse, and it's, even though they want to be innovative, it's very difficult to get them to do these types of things. And from their perspective, they can wait 3-4 years. Startups can't wait 3-4 years till somebody makes a decision to do something. Like, there's just a discrepancy in terms of tempo, and I honestly envy Adam here working within the framework of Aptar, where you have that type of backing, because for the rest of us, you have carriers who are super interested in this. We're looking at a 2027 launch. And you're like, okay, great, we'll be in touch. It's, you know, it's just, it's the cycles are so long that for startups, it's very challenging to kind of, on the one hand, keep your head above the water, but on the other hand, keep, you know, having those negotiations and keep building those relationships.
Thanks so much for sharing, Danny. We have Lynn Health up next.
Yes, and so I think that in care delivery, the biggest challenge, or one of the biggest challenges, is patient engagement. And we have focused on that in the first 2 years. And so we've learned how to convince patients to join us in a D2C model, bumping the price to $69 a month, retaining over 80% second month, and keeping people very engaged. And then once we did that, we kind of learned how to get it covered by insurance using existing codes. And then the next step for us was partnering with providers. And I must admit that on that side of the business, I'm surprised to see how receptive providers are to our clinical approach. And we are actually experiencing a different sales cycle, given the need on the provider side.
Thanks so much, Yehuda. All right, turning to Reciprocity Health.
Yeah, so for us, our value proposition is different for every potential client, since we use our advanced financial incentives management platform to accelerate the performance of any given clinical program. For one client, we're having a conversation about high-risk maternal health, and another it's about diabetes management, and another is about preventive care. And so we need to find a way into that conversation where we're hearing about the challenges that they have even before we're presenting the solution. And then also sort of addressing the complexity of what the results of our success look like. For some people, they're really targeted on improved quality scores. It might be reduced cost and utilization. It might be higher retention, higher revenue. So all of that complexity and just describing exactly how we're going to move the needle for a particular client leads to a front end of the conversation that's probably a bit more burdensome than the norm.
Great, thanks so much. I think we have Tim next.
Yeah, so on this side of it, the biggest challenge for us is, as a startup, how we scale the brand and build the consumer business channels while we're looking at an FDA submission and the timelines on that. So trying to, I think someone talked about tempo and also managing to investor milestones as part of the fundraising process. I think that's, as a first-time CEO, for me, the biggest challenge, especially coming from Fitbit, where we went from startup to just massive growth. So managing the tempo of growth on the consumer and next the enterprise business while we're in development on an FDA-related product. So that's the biggest challenge for us.
Thanks so much. Playback Health?
We haven't had any challenges. I don't know what you're talking about.
Obviously not.
Well, the first challenge was the fact that the people who are paying for it don't use it. The people who use it don't pay for it and don't benefit from it. And the people who benefit from it don't even realize they're benefiting, which is the provider, the doctor, and the patient. But AI and the ability to decrease administrative and bureaucratic load completely flipped everything, because now the administrator sees the improvement of the doctor experience and the efficiency of creating notes, along with multimedia notes, is a huge benefit. Your billing gets is done more quickly. The sales cycle is shorter, so the people buying it actually see dollar signs. The doctors love it because I've been using this for over a year. It's changed my life. I can't imagine not having this in my practice because it's made me such a better doctor. I pay attention to my patient again. I'm talking to them. I'm not worrying about jotting notes or taking stuff down, not going and dictating afterwards, and I can do whatever I want with audio, video. And the patients love it because the out product is so dramatically different from what they're used to experiencing. And so if your original question, what we're surprised about, the surprise was the impact of AI. The challenge was finding that. And it wasn't until it appeared in front of our eyes that it radically altered this, and this domino effect happened, and everybody benefited, and it was a win-win-win.
Thanks so much, David. All right, Amy, passing it to you.
Hi. So, a lot of us in the company actually also have hearing loss, and so we've been able to solve our problem and build a solution that actually has stellar customer feedback, low return rates. But the challenge, we recently received FDA clearance. So the challenge we're currently facing now has been reaching the 80% of people who have hearing loss but don't wear any solutions, and it's with a kind of a new product category, because if you go to, say, like Mayo Clinic, they'd be like, oh, we have not done any OTC hearing aids. Like this is like a year ago, 2 years ago, there was 0 products in this category. And so it is a growing market, which is great. And so it does necessitate some like provider change, like their workflow is a little bit different, et cetera. But hopefully we can leverage the channels against each other. Some channels actually want a more consumer type of flow, and that will help influence the providers to also make a change to enable something that's much more efficient with their customers. So that's kind of what we're tackling now.
Great, thank you so much. Carla, Calgon.
Yeah, like everyone here, we have a very ambitious team. We are not a very large team, and we have a lot we want to do, and we have a lot of opportunities that present themselves. As I said, we don't just sell in the medical market. We sell to the U.S. Air Force and other clients. So I think the biggest thing for us has really been the challenge of prioritization. And so we've done a lot to help address that, whether it's systems for how we scale, whether it's how we measure our goals. But that is where we've had to make a lot of choices around what gets built first, what does the roadmap look like? Those have been really, how do we deploy our capital? Those are really the important decisions for us every day.
Thanks so much, Carla. All right, so we're going to end this off with Solid and SIBA Health. So let's go.
Wow, the challenge of inventing something new that nobody ever thought of before, that you only have the slightest inkling of yourself. I've been working 14 years on this, and there were some lean years, okay? But as gradually you make prototype after prototype and slowly prove it out, the fan base collects. And now we're just on this snowball of a roll where, yes, scientists and ophthalmologists will say, but it can't work because of this and it can't work because of that. And then they see it and they're amazed and wow, it works. So a lot of challenges over a long period of time, but suddenly it's so easy.
Thanks so much. Last but not least, Innocent.
Yeah, again, thank you again. So again, for us, really, the challenge that we've experienced in the space certainly was around, our methodology and our approach, right? When we talk about our ability to identify the root causes of this condition and reverse it. So a lot of those clients, like the health plan, employers today, TPAs, like wondering, what is that really? How do you even actually reverse this condition? But, as soon as we're able to demonstrate that with data, validate our data, that will really allow us to really begin to have a conversation that really support the claims that we make today. Because again, the root cause approach, obviously, it's not mainstream. So a lot of questions around what is that? So when we talk about leveraging data, biomarker testing, the question is also, could it be this too expensive, right? Because we have doctors, you have dietitians, and health coaches really leveraging technology to deliver this sort of personalized care model. The question is also, can you really scale this sort of model, right? So we're able to show that we can leverage technology, embed that into the high touch, the high tech model that is truly looking at the whole person and delivering a better care model, achieving better outcome, really, really driving better engagement because of the empowerment that you put together, really leveraging some of those digital therapeutic devices, and as well as really building trust between the doctors, the dietitian, and health coaches, and providing that care coordination. So SIBA has been able to really suddenly be able to really have, we've seen that now with some of the adoption that we have this year. Like I said earlier, we have about 17 clients within the first 3 months of this year, right? So which is suddenly, it's been changing now. They begin to understand the value of what SIBA is doing today, and really this root cause approach really is now here to stay, and suddenly how we leverage technology is the key to what healthcare should truly be.
Thank you so much. I'm very impressed. Everyone got through these really quick and we learned a lot. So I'll turn this back over to Stephen and Daniel. Great hearing from everybody today.
As we're at time, I'll just turn it to Daniel for some final words.
Well, final words, really impressive set of innovations, companies, and progress. And as we mentioned at the beginning, the consumer is becoming the heart of everything. And no one wants to be called a patient, but consumer-enabled care, and the many examples you guys all illustrated, and the lessons learned can hopefully translate to fellow companies and the next generation of startups, because we all don't need to make the same mistakes. So looking forward to seeing you all in Vegas, and good luck in the finals elements. You're all winners. And Stephen, closing talks to you.
I agree with everything he said. I do look forward to seeing everybody. I love the variety of companies, but they all share, and you can feel the passion coming through from everything that you've built. And I heard it from spending 14 years, Neil, building something, and everybody has a story like that of all the sweat that they've put into these ideas. And look forward to meeting you all in a few weeks in Las Vegas.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephen and Daniel and Ariel, for hosting this session, as well as all of our finance companies for joining us this afternoon for a wonderful conversation. I invite all of our attendees to obviously join us on October 21st for our Winners Celebration Day. Our Rising Stars will be announced at 1 p.m. At our pavilion stage at booth number 3254. And then at 5 o'clock, we will have our main grand finale announcing our best in class companies, which will be at the disco stage. We hope to see all of you there. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your day.